He's in. Job well done. Thanks to you, he got there. No grind, no grit, no greatness.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love Bel-Air, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about Bel-Air Season 2, Episode 4. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. Now the title of the episode is called Don't Kill My Vibe. And the description of the episode reads, fresh off his suspension from Bel-Air basketball, Will seeks Phil's permission to join an AAU team. And we know he ended up joining Doc Hightower's team in this episode. And it seems like your girl Jackie, she was a part of the game plan all along. I've been seeing you guys state that y'all don't necessarily trust her. And from the looks of it, y'all was right. She can't be trusted at all. And when Will finds out about what she's been doing, you already know he's going to be pissed off. And I also seen some people state that Will was using her just to get intel on her uncle, which was true. I mean, he was getting close to her in order to get, some information about her uncle and what he needed to do to make sure he was good with him. But I mean, it is what it is. We know Doc Hightower has his own agenda and he really wants all the money that he can get out of Will. Now you guys, make sure you checked out my last two videos. I dropped the Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 Episode 1 Final Predictions. The episode will be airing tonight, so stay tuned for that. And also check out the BMF Season 2 Episode 10, the season finale Final Predictions video as well. That will be airing tonight. And if you're a fan of Snowfall, check out the Snowfall Season 6 Episode 5 recap that I dropped earlier on in the day. The episode was straight up fire, and I cannot wait to see what's next. But let's begin. Let's talk about the topic of discussion, Bel-Air Season 2 Episode 4. The episode starts out with Will learning that he's been suspended from school. He's upset. We know what he did in last week's episode, standing up for Miss Huge, and it seems like the school, they didn't like that, and that's why he really got suspended. And Carlton is having a conversation with him. He's telling him what he did was not for the right cause. Like, basically, he did it for himself. He didn't really care too much about Miss Huge at all. And seeing that Will's supposed to be looking over Carlton, making sure that he was good, Carlton tells him that's what he should have been doing, and he tells him whatever he does, do not tell his parents about his panic attack because you already know what they gonna be on. Now, Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil come in. They tell Will they try to fight for him, but he's going to be suspended, I believe, for like a week or whatever, and he's kicked off the basketball team. So y'all know Will was upset when he heard that, but all that did was give him some more free time, and we know Doc Hightower ended up hitting him up later on in the episode. Now, even though Will was pissed off, his classmates, they was happy for him that he stood up and they feel like, he did what he had to do. Now, Carlton is still upset because no one knows that he had a panic attack. They think he just walked off and that was it. But that is not the case. We know Carlton is going through a lot. Your girl Yasmin, she was looking at him with disappointment like, man, I can't believe you really did that. And I was just hoping that Carlton would just go to her and tell her what went down, but he didn't. Now, Carlton runs into Miss Basson and she tells him he's one of the top nominees for the Founders Award. So now he's happy. He's like, man, bet. And he probably wasn't really thinking about it because of the panic attack and all the stuff that was going down. Now, we can see Yasmin. She's pissed off. She heard the conversation and she's going to address Carlton about this because she's like, look, you pretty much did this to get that award. Now, we get to Hillary, and she's going to be meeting up with Jazz later on in the episode to have dinner with his parents. And we can tell Jazz didn't really want her to come because of, his religion. And he feels like Hillary is really different. And I mean, it's understandable. But the way Hillary was acting at dinner, it was uncalled for, man. She was doing entirely too much, in my opinion. Now, Will gets the call from Doc Hightower, and he wants to meet up with him. And he feels like, he can actually sign him to this AAU team, but he has to bring Uncle Phil. And we can see Viv, she's in there. She's the person that set all of this up. She just wants to look out for Will, but we know Uncle Phil's going to be pissed off when he learns about this. Now, Yasmin has a conversation with Carlton, and she tells him, like, look, you pretty much did what you did because you wanted to be nominated for that Founders Award, and she's not liking, his actions. But Carlton didn't tell her that he had a panic attack, that he's going through some stuff with his mental health. So, of course, she is believing that's exactly the reason why he walked off. Now, we get to Zenith Hype Basketball, and we know that Doc Hightower worked here Uncle Phil and Will, they meet up with him, and Uncle Phil wants to talk to him about business. Like, what are all the details if Will is going to be on this AAU team? Now, they have a barbershop up in there. Will, he didn't even need a shape up, but he was just in there, just buying some time while Uncle Phil and Doc Hightower talk. Now, he learns that Jackie works there. He sees her, they start talking, and he wants to, hook up with her. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to kick it, get real close, but she tells him she does not normally let, guys get in that close that quick. But Will's like, look, let's change that. Now, Doc Hightower and Uncle Phil, they end up talking about the whole AAU team, and I believe it was like $10,000 for Will to join. And I guess Doc Hightower is supposed to get a certain percentage of the deals that Will's going to be making. And Uncle Phil, he doesn't like that. That's the problem that he is having. Like, dude, you're not about to own my nephew. He ain't, thinking that's the best idea for Will. But it seems like Viv thought that was a good idea. That's what Doc Hightower told him. And once he brought her up, Uncle Phil got pissed off. He grabbed Will and he said, look, we got to go. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for you. We can look at some other places. Now, Uncle Phil and Viv, they do have an argument. She tells him, you don't run everything. You don't have to make all the decisions. And she does not have to, talk to him after every move that she makes. She says it's Will's decision. It's his future. He should have a say-so in all of this. But Uncle Phil ain't trying to hear it. And she understands that something's not right with him. He's been acting kind of funny. They end up making up. And he does tell her he's kind of stressed out because of what's going on at work at the firm with that guy, James. Also, he feels like Jeffrey is very distant. So he's not feeling himself. But she tells him just, chill out. It's going to be all right. And we know Jeffrey does end up getting some intel on that James character later on in the episode. Now, Carlton and Will, they go bowling. Everybody is there. Your boy Carlton, he got his bowling ball. He pulled out the personal bowling ball. When you see guys do that, you know they don't play around. And Carlton, he's out there killing it. Now, Will, he ends up talking to Lisa, and Drew is over there staring him down, looking like, dude, like, are you crazy? Will sees that. Of course, Lisa says, look, he just, drove me here, nothing serious or whatever. And Will, he's, wanting to be real funny when it comes to Drew. He calls him Doug, and he ends up getting that text from your girl Jackie that she wants to meet up. He tells Carlton that he got to go, and maybe he should try to go over there and talk to Yasmin to make up and see what she's all about, which he did. But we know your girl Yasmin was not trying to talk to Carlton. She said she is just trying to vibe, and she didn't want Carlton to kill that vibe. Now, Carlton, he starts to talk to Drew because y'all know Drew is running his mouth about Carlton, walking off. He's putting it all in his face, talking about what he did wrong. I mean, he's being very disrespectful. And I don't blame Carlton for beating this boy down. I do not blame him at all. And Drew tells Carlton that he just trying to get this Founders Award from Miss Basson. That's it. And once Drew disrespected Carlton in front of everybody about Miss Basson and what he thought he was doing, Carlton couldn't take it. They end up fighting and Carlton beat that boy down. He wasn't playing, and this is what this dude gets. I mean, you don't run your mouth about him. Carlton even told him, you don't even know me like that. Of course, Lisa is telling him, just to get up. But Carlton said, you know what? I'm going to let y'all all know how I'm really feeling. I had a panic attack. That's why I had to walk off during that protest. I'm on the meds and all that stuff. I have, anxiety, and that's it. I'm tired of trying to fit in this bubble with all y'all. And, he stormed off. And you can see Yasmin, she was looking like, man, I didn't know. And that's what I was saying. Like, maybe Carlton probably should have just told her earlier on that he was going through those problems because he was very stressed out during that whole protest period. And look at your boy, Drew. He's leaking. That boy shook. And that's exactly what he gets. Now, of course, Lisa goes outside. She calms Carlton down like she always does. And the two end up leaving. Now, let's talk about your girl, Hillary. She done studied the Muslim history, the religion. She knows everything. And when she first walked in there, your boy Jazz was surprised. He was like, man, like, really? And her pops, he was looking like, man, like, okay, I see what you doing, young boy. I see how you going. And his mom was like, she's perfect. That's at first. Once she started talking about, the religion, and she kept, stating all these facts, which they already know, I thought it was overkill. Like, come on, Hillary, you're doing entirely too much. Calm down. And your boy Jazz had to tell her, like, look, can we talk about something else because you doing too much? And he was right, in my opinion. Now, we get to Jackie and Will. They released some of this clip yesterday. I dropped it for you guys. Between the two, we learned that she dances and she also, is in 3 AP classes, I believe. She has like a 3.8 GPA or something. She's smart. You know what I'm saying? We know she's smart. She has a lot on her plate. Will likes that. They end up, making out, having a good old time and just vibing. And she tells him, my uncle always said, no grind, no grit, no greatness. So she's using his quote. We end up hearing that quote time and time again throughout the episode. And we know Uncle Phil was pissed off once he saw that quote on Doc Hightower's wall. And that was after he heard Will say it. Now, Uncle Phil, he meets up with James. We know that Jeffrey's been doing his work. And this dude, James, has been having, private meetings with other companies, other firms. And it seems like they're going to be doing a major merger together. And Uncle Phil's like, really? Like, why would you do this? We started this together. I mean, I don't want to do it. But James tells him it's pretty much too late. All the partners agree that this is what we have to do. Basically it's going to happen, plain and simple. Unless Uncle Phil can pull off a miracle, because the company has to do this to survive. Now, we get back to Carlton and Will, and it seems like everybody saw the video of the fight and Carlton's mental health issues, and the BSU was thinking about starting mental health workshops. So it seems like that fight, that beatdown, Carlton putting those paws on Drew, it paid off. And hopefully things can start going good for Carlton. I mean, it still is early on in the season, and he's been through a lot already. Now, Will meets up with Uncle Phil and Viv. He makes them breakfast, and he tells Uncle Phil that he's willing to put in a lot of work for this AAU stuff. He tells him, like, look, I will get 2 jobs if I got to. I'm going to step up in school. I just want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to, take this real serious. And he tells him, no grind, no grit, no greatness. So he uses Doc Hightower's quote. And Uncle Phil, he was liking it. Like, okay, I see what you're doing. And everything seemed well at first, right? Now, Hillary and Jazz, they talk about what happened with his parents. And Hillary says she only did it because Jazz was acting like he didn't want her to meet his parents. And she wanted to make sure she had a good impression. And he's like, look, just be yourself. And they end up talking about, will they end up being together? Will it even work because they're so different? And Jazz tells her, it's going to work out. You know what I'm saying? He's going to continue to fight for her no matter what. But you can see a look of concern on both of their faces. I don't think this is going to work out. I believe it's just temporary. You guys let me know down below what y'all think. Now, Will is having a conversation with Ashley. And in this season, we're seeing more of the Ashley and Will, connection, similar to what we were seeing in the original show. And that's what I wanted to see. Will tells her, don't give up on Miss Huge. And he says, look, you are the one that gives us all hope. You are the inspiration behind all of this. And she really was about to give up earlier on in the episode, but I'm glad Will had that talk with her. Now, Carlton, he's going through his phone. He's looking at the conversations that he's had with Yasmin, and he decides to delete it. So maybe he thinks that this whole thing with him and her is over. She does not support him like that, but I think he's wrong. I think she will support him. She just didn't know he was going through what he was going through with the mental health. We're going to see how that storyline develops as the season continues. Now, Uncle Phil takes Will back to Doc Hightower's spot, and they're going to let him play for the AAU team. Uncle Phil does have some red marks on the contract. He tells him, we can do this, but you're not going to own my nephew, plain and simple. So now Will is going to be officially a part of this team, and I got a feeling it's still not going to end well. We see the no grind, no grit, no greatness quote right there. And Uncle Phil was kind of pissed off when he saw it because he wants Will to look up to him. He don't really want Will looking up to Doc Hightower like that because he doesn't trust him all the way. And at the end of the episode, we see your girl Jackie. She comes into his office and he tells her, we did it. We made the deal all because of you. He needed to show his uncle that he was willing to work hard for what he wants. And thanks to you, that happened. So now, she feels kind of bad. You can tell by the look on her face. And I think it's because of how close her and Will are getting. And it's happening very quickly. I mean, at first she probably was going through with the game plan to help Doc Hightower out. But seeing that she's caught feelings, that may change her whole, feeling about Will. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Because as I said, even though Doc was using his niece to get intel and to sign Will, we know Will was doing the exact same thing. But we know Will, he pretty much made it known. I mean, he was talking to her at the very beginning when they first met about Doc Hightower. So she knew what he wanted or whatever. And she told him, you got to get to know me first and all that stuff. So that's exactly what he ended up doing. But it wasn't like he was hiding anything. But we know she was. So I want to know how Will's going to feel about that. I mean, it is what it is. Y'all know this is going to be a big storyline this season. And as of right now, it definitely seems like Uncle Phil was right about Doc Hightower. And y'all let me know what you think about your boy Jeffrey. It seems like he is distant. We know he was trying to get some intel about his son, but he's not all the way there yet. He doesn't necessarily trust Uncle Phil like he used to. And I believe as the season continues to air out, their relationship will get better and better. But as of right now, it's still some questions up in the air about what's going down. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support. Make sure y'all leave y'all theories, predictions. Leave it all down below. Let me know exactly how y'all felt about episode 4. I cannot wait to see episode 5. And, hopefully everything goes well for your boy Will. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.